Welcome to the TCL Chinese Theatre in historic Hollywood. We are live from the green carpet, and we're going to check out the world premiere restoration of Barefoot in the Park, starring Robert Redford and Jane Fonda. But up first, we're going to play a little trivia. We're going to test your knowledge and see how you do. Are you ready? Here we go. Number one. Based on the 1963 play of the same name, Barefoot in the Park was written by this playwright. Is it A, Tennessee Williams, B, Neil Simon, C, Arthur Miller, or D, Woody Allen? I'll give you a few seconds. And the answer is B, Neil Simon. Fun fact, it was inspired by his first marriage. The stage play marked this playwright's longest running hit and is the 10th longest running non-musical play in Broadway history. It's a fantastic play. Many actors do the monologues because they're so rich and fun. On to number two. Robert Redford starred in both the stage and screen adaptation of Barefoot in the Park. Who was his leading lady in the original Broadway production? Is it A, Jane Fonda, B, Julie Harris, C, Sandy Dennis, or D, Elizabeth Ashley? I could play the trivia music, but I won't. Give you a few more seconds. And the answer is D, Elizabeth Ashley. The fun fact is Robert Redford was initially reluctant to accept the role as he did not like the idea of repeating himself and believed it's standard practice for Broadway players to not be considered for parts that he had created on the stage. The film would be his first box office hit. And what a hit it was. Okay, we are on to number three. How you doing? How you doing? Okay. This is a tricky one. I'm not gonna lie. Which film marked the on-screen debut of Jane Fonda and Robert Redford? Is it A, The Chase, B, Barefoot in the Park, C, Tall Story, or D, The Electric Horseman? Like I said, it's a tricky one. And the answer is C, Tall Story. Fun fact, Robert Redford and Jane Fonda worked on a total of 5 films together from 1966 to 2017. Barefoot in the Park was their third on-screen project together. And actually, in Tall Story, Robert Redford was kind of just like a background extra. Tonight's main event debuts a world premiere restoration of Barefoot in the Park, starring Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, who will be here soon to introduce the film. So let's take a look at the original 1967 trailer, and stay tuned for more live updates from the TCM Classic Film Festival red carpet.
These footprints lead to the happiest motion picture in many, many, many a year.
Officer! We just got married! Paul, if the honeymoon doesn't work out, let's not get divorced. Let's kill each other.
Let's have one of the maids do it. I hear the service here is wonderful.
Barefoot in the Park, the barest, rarest, unsquarest love play that ever left Broadway to find happiness on the motion picture screen.
Forget it. They're never coming out.
How long's it been now?
5 days.
That must be a hotel record.
Wait a minute, Paul! Where are you going?
Work. I have to go to work. I don't do this for a living, you know.
Can't you call them and tell them you can't come in today? Tell them you're sick.
I am sick, but I have to go in today.
Last night you promised you'd never leave me. Thank you, Mr. Dooley. Next time you're in New York, just call me up. Did you miss me today?
No.
Why not?
Because you called me 8 times. I don't talk to you that much when I'm home.
Martini to wash down a pill.
It'll make you feel better.
I had a martini at home. It made me sick. That's why I'm taking the pill.
Barefoot in the Park, the fun-filled story of a typical honeymoon. It's always an uphill struggle.
you know it's 6 flights?
No, it isn't. It's only 5.
What about that big thing hanging outside the building?
That's not a flight. It's a stoop.
It may look like a stoop. It climbs like a flight.
And their neighbors are most charming.
Do you know that we have some of the greatest weirdos in the country living right here in this building?
No kidding. Like who?
Well, like to begin with, in apartment 1C are the Boscos, Mr. and Mrs. J. Bosco.
Who are they?
Mr. and Mrs. J. Bosco are a lovely young couple who just happen to be of the same sex.
Their bridal heaven in Greenwich Village.
Well, in the first place, Paul, it's just a little hole. And in the second place, what do you want me to do?
Go to pieces, like me. What's happening here? What is this? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get you all hot and bothered, and you're summing up with a jury.
It's the Wake Up, Break the Rules, Rock the Boat, Live It Up Comedy of the Year. Why don't you fall over laughing and go barefoot in the park?
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Well, I'm so interested in what inspired you to create your social media and also what you love about content creation.
Oh, I started my social media, my YouTube channel, because I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So I wanted to connect with fellow Star Wars fans, and I definitely have over the years. In terms of content creation, I really like diving deep into the history of the making of Star Wars. So celebrating people like Ben Burtt, sound designer, who created all the sounds of the galaxy, Marshall Lucas, who helped edit the first original Star Wars. And yeah, I love getting nerdy with it.
Yeah, well, Ben Burtt often comes to the film festival. He might be here tonight. And tonight's film is Barefoot in the Park, starring the one and only Jane Fonda. Do you have a favorite film of hers?
I do. There are so many iconic roles that she's played, but I think my favorite is They Shoot Horses, Don't They?
Oh, yes.
She is just a powerhouse.
Yeah.
She plays a completely different character than we see in Barefoot in the Park, right? She plays a tough, cynical, desperate woman. And I think it really put her on the map in terms of cementing her serious, dramatic intentions as an actress.
I totally agree. I mean, she transforms with every role. It's incredible. Now, tonight you are hosting the live stream on YouTube.
Yes.
What are you most looking forward to on the red carpet? Or I should say, green carpet.
The green carpet, talking with you, this is a highlight. Getting to see Jane Fonda herself, being around classic movie lovers. This is the only place that you can do it. It's my favorite time of year.
Well, I hope you have a great time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yes, and actually, be sure to tune in tomorrow because on the live stream on TCM's TikTok, we will be having a special guest, Glenn Close, who will be honored with her hand and footprint ceremony at the TCM Classic Film Festival. And actually, we have had many hand and footprint recipients over the years, starting in 2011. Peter O'Toole, Kim Novak, Jane Fonda, Jerry Lewis, Christopher Plummer, Francis Ford Coppola, Carl and Rob Reiner, Cicely Tyson, Billy Crystal, Lily Tomlin in 2022, Jodie Foster, and last year in 2025, Michelle Pfeiffer. And speaking of incredible talent that has been honored throughout with a hand and footprint at TCM's Classic Film Festival, up next is footage from tonight's guest of honor, Jane Fonda, when she was honored in 2013.
I grew up in this town, and when I was about Viva's age, I remember standing in front of this iconic Chinese Grauman Theatre, just awestruck. And I remember walking these sidewalks and seeing the stars and the stars' names. And as I got older and older and older and entered what I call my third act, I was sure that the curtain on my third act would come down before this would ever happen. And then, to my great joy and surprise and honor, along came Turner Classic Movies. I mean, do we love this network? Oh, my Lord. What is particularly meaningful to me is that I'm going to be right next to my dad, right over there. And I can feel his presence right now. And he used to say to me, Jane, don't let this town walk all over you. Well, Dad, right now, the town can walk all over both of us forever. Thank you all so much for this honor and for being here. Thank you.
We are here with Genevieve McGillicuddy. Hi, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you.
And I'd love for you to tell the people what you do here.
Yeah, so I'm the executive director of the TCM Classic Film Festival, and I lead the team that is in charge of all the things that are TCM off of the network. So it could be the cruise, the festival, the publishing program, the wine club. We have a small but mighty team that oversees producing all of these things every year.
And what is it about the TCM Classic Film Festival or the cruises that has people coming back year after year?
I think the reason that we have so many people returning every year to the festival and the cruise is the community of fans. I think that people discover, oh, these are people who speak my language, they love these movies like I do, and they want to spend time with them. They want to spend their vacations doing that. And people meet at the festival and the cruise. I know of several weddings that have happened. There are people who became friends meeting at the festival who have a reunion every year at the event. It's really spectacular.
I did. I met a couple who met on the cruise and are now happily married.
Love it. We should promote that in our marketing materials.
That's right.
It's better than the apps.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the festival?
I think what I'm most looking forward to is the screening of Letty Linton, because it is such a rarity. This may not happen again, that we have a movie that literally no one at the festival has seen. It's a pre-code, and it stars Joan Crawford, and it's newly restored. So, I've heard the term re-premiere around this film, and I think it's going to feel like that. The energy level is going to be very exciting.
I cannot wait. We've already taken so much of your time. Thank you so much for stopping, and enjoy the festival.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy.
Brooke, it's so nice to see you here at the TCM Classic Film Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Do you remember seeing Barefoot in the Park?
Yes.
Yeah?
Love that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tell us about Jane Fonda and what she means to you.
Oh, she's an icon. She's a wonderful actress. She's a great political activist. Mm-hmm. I admire her so much. I think she's really smart.
I think when I think of watching those movies back in the day, what strikes me most is that how versatile she was. She could go from something like Barefoot in the Park, to Klute, to They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Which I think was maybe the first kind of grown-up movie I ever saw as a kid. And just her range and versatility just amazes me.
Yeah, such power in her performances. Yeah. Well, Brooke, you're not just here for a good time this weekend. We're putting you to work.
Yes.
Tell us about what you're introducing.
I'm introducing Days of Heaven.
Yay. That's tonight, right?
Yeah.
At
9 o'clock, which I haven't stayed awake till 9 in many years, but...
But it's 9 o'clock LA time.
So it's
midnight.
Yeah, midnight East Coast time. I'm on
Good
East
luck.
Coast time too, so yeah. What are your memories of Days of Heaven and filming with Terrence Malick?
Well, I was just saying actually to someone else that we didn't get to read the script or know the title until we got the parts.
Wow.
And the only reason I got the part was because the casting director who had put me on tape improvising didn't think I was right for it, and he was showing another person to Terry, and he passed my video, and Terry said, wait, let me see her. And he said, I don't think she's really right. And he said, let me see. And then he cast Genevieve Bujold in the role.
Yes. Yeah.
And then she did something he didn't like, and he cast me.
Oh.
So I was thrilled. Beyond, it was my first film. It was to play opposite Richard Gere and Sam Shepard.
Yeah,
how lucky was I?
Pretty good. I know, I was just watching you in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which we're about to play on TCM. What does TCM mean to both of you?
Well, for me, it represents all of the films that I watched growing up, all of the films that my mother especially was a big movie buff, an avid reader, and would always kind of pull us away from our homework to watch whatever it was, African Queen, all of the classics, Hitchcock, and that's what TCM is. It's that, it's that comfortable place that you go to rediscover the works of the masters.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Down memory lane always. Yeah. It's great.
Well, Tony and Brooke, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a fun time seeing Barefoot in the Park tonight. Thank you.
I am here with Disney legend, animator Andres Deja. So nice to meet you in the flesh.
Same here. Thanks for having me.
Now, for people that don't know, he has created some of the most iconic Disney villains ever. Scar, Jafar, Gaston. Can you tell me what goes into the making of a Disney villain?
Well, the thing is, they cannot just be bad. That would be easy, just to make them bad, say bad things, do bad things. They have to be interesting. They have to become personalities. So maybe they have a twisted sense of humor, or they have a sidekick, or they want something unique to that villain, So with Gaston, for example, he is just so in love with himself. It's ridiculous. It's all about himself. And with Scar, of course, he wants to be the ruler of the pride. He kills his brother. He would do anything to be the ruler of the lion pride. So they all have their angle. They all have to be different. But most of all, they have to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you were actually here at the festival to introduce Alice in Wonderland, one of my favorite Disney films. Can you talk about how maybe the film inspired you, maybe to get into animation?
Yeah, I think I saw the film for the first time. I was probably a teenager. The very first one was The Jungle Book, and I thought maybe I think a couple years later I saw a re-release of Alice in Wonderland, and I absolutely loved it because it's the kind of movie where story-wise you have no idea where this is going, but you're along for the ride and loving it, because the only things that Alice wants is to get back home, but she meets all these eccentric characters. There's the crazy tea party, they are singing flowers, and all these surreal moments that are very unique for a Walt Disney film.
Mm-hmm. And you actually are doing your own film, is that correct, with 2D animation?
Yes. When I was a kid, as I mentioned, the Jungle Book was the first Walt Disney film I saw, and at the age of 10 years old, I made the decision, this is what I want to do. And then years later, I started at Disney in 1980 and drew characters for them for about 30 years.
Oh, that's wonderful. When will it be released? The newest film, is it Mushka?
Oh, my own film, yeah. I did have a chance to produce my own film called Mushka, which I finished about 2 years ago. And it's now on all major streaming platforms, so you can look it up on Amazon and Apple TV and so forth. It's a half-hour hand-drawn film.
And how long did it take you?
Almost 8 years. It takes a long time to do these things because it was not backed up by a studio. It was my own film, independent film. So you have to find people who can help you. A lot of people were busy, so that was the reason why it took so long. But I'm really proud of it. And I had a chance to work with a Disney old-timer, a composer. Richard Sherman wrote the music for my film, and he wrote the music for the original Mary Poppins, for The Jungle Book, and all those films. So I came kind of full circle working with him.
It's such a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's enjoy the festival.
Thank you.
Well, Kate Flannery, it's always so nice to have you here at the TCM Classic Film Festival.
Well, it's fantastic to be here. My favorite channel, my favorite people, and to actually get to interact with you like a human being is crazy and wonderful.
Well, you are a TCM fan, so tell us, what does TCM mean to you? Do you have a story about TCM?
Well, TCM is my Valium, my caffeine, my Prozac. It is my comfort, it's my faith in the universe. It's my hope. It's back to the future, it's I'm looking back, but it's helping me move forward. And, I used to work in a restaurant in Beverly Hills. I used to wait on some of the old stars that used to come here.
Yes.
The MGM folk, Ann Miller and Esther Williams and Mitzi Gaynor and Billy Wilder and Vincent Sherman. Yeah, these were crazy times, and I'm so happy to have understood the importance of being there at the time and interacting with these souls.
Yeah, you have such great stories about everyone that you met, which we love to use for the film festival. What are you introducing this weekend?
I'm introducing a film from 1964, Sandra Dee, Andy Williams, Robert Goulet, and Maurice Chevalier, I'd Rather Be Rich.
Oh, yes, I have seen that one.
Yes. In 2026, identity theft is not funny, but apparently in 1964 it was hilarious.
It was a riot.
So,
well, do you have memories of seeing Barefoot in the Park for the first time?
I do. This was one of my favorite movies. My parents actually spent their honeymoon at the Plaza Hotel just for a couple nights because they went to Canada.
6 nights?
It was
like
not 6 nights.
Yeah.
No, although I would not be here if there was no Plaza Hotel, I don't think.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to see you. Have
Mildred
fun.
Natwick, baby, right? I mean, there's nothing like an older woman
Natwick.
just coming in and just stealing the show.
And Charles Boyer.
Charles Boyer, too.
Still
I know, right?
suave.
Love you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Hope you have fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I am here with Kurtwood Smith and Joan Perkle. Hello, it's so great to see you both.
So nice to see you on such a beautiful day.
What are you most looking forward to at the TCM Classic Film Festival this year?
Well, I am looking forward to seeing Alexander Payne and Laura Dern tomorrow. I haven't seen either one of them in a while, so I'm looking forward to that, but that's purely on a social sense. And the remastered version of that film, Citizen Ruth, I think should be quite exciting. And I think it'll be great fun tonight seeing Barefoot in the Park. You know, that was such a great movie in its time. I mean, as you know, one of the early rom-com.
Yeah.
See, I never get into rom-coms. That's why I have trouble with the name. So we're looking forward to seeing that. It's been quite a while.
We're going to be celebrating the legacy of obviously Jane Fonda and Robert Redford. Do you have a favorite performance of either of them, or in the same film, since they did 5 of them together?
Wow, I didn't realize they did 5 together.
5 films, yes.
Amazing.
Yes, it was a trivia question.
Redford, I've always, I liked him so much in Butch Cassidy, of course, and the Sting, this movies he did with Paul Newman, but and then All the President's Men. I thought he was quite good, and he was quite good in that. And I know it meant a lot to him personally. So, I would say those 2, but there were plenty others. And Jane Fonda, oh my God, I wouldn't know where to begin in terms of films of hers. She did so many wonderful films. What do you think?
Oh, for Jane Fonda, gosh, the one that popped into my head was 9 to 5, but I've loved her in so many different performances. Coming Home, she was in Coming Home, right? Yeah. She was just fabulous in that. And, one of your favorites, I think, of Robert Redford's was The Way We Were.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
An incredible film.
Yes, excellent.
Well, thank you so much for stopping
by.
Thank you. Enjoy the festival.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Nice to meet you as well.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye-bye. I am here with Marcia Gordon, author, film historian. It's so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Now, I would love to get your take on Barefoot in the Park. Obviously, I'm guessing you've seen it.
So, I have not. So this is what's exciting to me about tonight. There are very few films from this era that I haven't seen, even though I really specialize in like 20s to 50s, so it's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. But this is one of them, so I am so excited to see it on the big screen at this theater with Jane Fonda here. Like, there could be no better opening night activity for me than seeing something for the first time. So I've got nothing to say now, but I'll tell you about it later.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Do you have a favorite Jane Fonda performance or Robert Redford performance? There are so many. I know.
There are so many. I mean, Barbarella. I love Barbarella so much. It's so outlandish and wonderful. And, I'm such a huge admirer of Jane Fonda for her outspokenness and the kind of range of her career. And I remember growing up in the 80s, of course, the exercise videos and having the VHS tape to learn how to do your aerobics. So she's just had an extraordinary career and an extraordinary life. In terms of Redford, I mean, it's so hard not to think about the Redford-Newman pairings because they were so charming together. So honestly, any of those, like, they're just so entertaining and they're so delightful. We need more movies like this, right, that make us feel that sense of kind of joy without cruelty. And so I think that they were really good at picking roles like that, especially, I think, Redford.
Yeah, well said. What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the TCM Classic Film Festival?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm introducing Next Time We Love, which is Jimmy Stewart's first starring role, and it's a film that's not seen that often, so I'm very excited to get to talk to audiences about that film. And then I was just talking to the guys from the Bad News Bears, and when I was growing up again in the 80s, it was like, that was such an important film. I was a softball player, you know, it's like, got the ball game going on, so I'm so excited to see them talk about this film. I love that so much of the cast is going to be for that screening.
It was a very iconic film.
It was.
Big cultural moment in American history. So it's so great to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the festival.
Well, Jacqueline, here we are back again at the TCM Film Festival.
Always amazing. You look amazing,
So
as
do you.
always.
I think we both got the theme of Barefoot in the Park.
We're park-like.
But I'm interested from you because you're both a professor and a TCM host.
Yes.
How does TCM connect you with other people through the shared experience of watching movies?
Oh, wow. You know, in my courses, we watch the movies together. We have screening times, and I tell them, you know, you might think when you're watching films in a class, you're just going to watch it on your own, but I know you're going to watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
Optimistically on your computer screen. So no, we're going to watch them all together, projected. So it means a lot for me as a teacher to have those moments of watching classic films together. And then at home, we do it all the time. It's the way I bond with my mother every time I'm with her.
I love that.
Yeah.
And watching classic films with this audience at the film festival is a whole other experience. What is it like?
Oh my gosh, the energy. I mean, people are applauding for all of the opening credits.
Yes.
And not just for the actors. I mean, they're so knowledgeable, they're so curious, they're so supportive. And the dialogue that you see people having in the line as they're going into a film or after, connecting with people they didn't know before precisely because they love the same movies.
Yeah, TCM really does bring people together. We see the friendships that form here.
Yes, years-long friendships, which is really cool.
Well, you've got some busy assignments, busy weekend ahead. What's something you're looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm about to introduce Modern Times with one of my favorite silent film actors doing a quasi-silent film, Charlie Chaplin, in dialogue with Tony Shalhoub, which is going to be great. And then I'm also going to be doing a conversation with one of my favorite independent filmmakers, Charles Burnett, a restoration of his film, My Brother's Wedding, which is just remarkable.
Amazing.
And to see that film included in the framework of classic films really means a lot. And then at the end of the festival, I always do a silent Sunday night in person, and it'll be Lady Windermere's Fan, the Lubitsch
with
film.
the orchestra.
Yes, with the Monte Alto Orchestra.
Amazing.
Yes.
We'll have fun.
Thank you.
I'll see you
too,
around.
Alicia. Take care.
Thank you.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
It's great to see you.
Yes, likewise.
Now, Ben, you will be conducting a live orchestra during the silent film The Patsy. Is that correct?
You're close. I'll be playing the theater organ.
Oh, the theater organ.
Yes.
Oh, how fantastic.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what makes these screenings so special with the Monte Alto Motion Picture Orchestra, the organs, and having that live music?
Well, when in both cases with Rodney Sauer and the Monte Alto Orchestra or if I'm playing the organ, it's the fact that you're hearing live music and you're hearing something more than just a piano. Piano is a very convenient and easy instrument, but this is really what people heard in the 1920s. They heard ensembles of sizes from 4 or 5 people all the way up to a full symphony orchestra, and the theater pipe organ provided the same kind of a sound, and it was a much more rich, emotional and lush kind of sound.
After people have experienced this, what do they often say? What is kind of the emotion after the film?
I find that people who have seen a silent film for the first time in a theater with live music, they always say, this was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. It's because you think silent film, it sounds like it's not going to be fun, but it's so much more, and it's very satisfying and fun for so many people.
For all the music nerds out there, I used to play piano many years ago. I would love to know, are there any sort of riffs or things that you find that are typical in silent film movies?
I think that there are things that I try to avoid that people associate with corny old silent movies, so I try to avoid stuff like that. I mostly have built up my own musical vocabulary the way a jazz musician might, and I'm drawing on that during the show, plus I have some of the themes worked out ahead of time. But a lot of the score happens during the show.
And besides this event, what else are you looking forward to at the TCM Classic Film Festival?
Seeing my fellow New Yorker Bruce Goldstein when you presented the Robert Osborne Award.
Yes, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks. Thank you very
enjoy
much.
the festival.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great to see you.
You as well.
I'm into the pinstripe.
Sure, it's from the George Raft collection. I just stole that from a fan.
Very good.
It was a good line. I like it. I'm going to use it tonight on stage. Yeah.
Okay, so you have so many interesting things going on this weekend. Of course, starting tonight with sharing the stage with Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
How do you juggle all of the different things that get thrown at you for the weekend? Does it drive your brain crazy?
I mean, you know what it's like. You got an idea of when it's really hard to know everything about Jane Fonda and Robert Redford and the work they did together, which we'll have for tonight, not just Barefoot in the Park, but the 4 movies they made together, in case anything like that comes up. I already know she wants to talk about The Chase, which is their first movie together. Barefoot in the Park is their second.
Okay.
And then immediately tomorrow begin the day with a hand and footprint ceremony with Glenn Close, and then an hour-long conversation with Carol Burnett before lunch. And you're like, well, and then it's weird how then an hour later at the end of one of those things you'd be like, God, what did Carol Burnett say? And I have no idea. I also know nothing about her life now. Like, I don't know, she's an actress, a comedian. Yeah.
She's great.
No,
she's very excited. Well, you've also interviewed Carol Burnett on the podcast.
Yeah, we've spent time together as you have.
Right.
She's just great. I just watched Amy Poehler's podcast with her. It was so good.
She's got stories for days, Carol Burnett.
Yeah, I'm like, I hadn't heard that one. That's they keep being good ones. Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so you're always doing the hand and footprint ceremony. You're always doing opening night. What is something that when you saw on the festival that was smaller that you were like, oh, I really got to do that, and it's something that you're actually doing this weekend?
Right, because the main one that I wanted to do, someone else is doing.
Oh no!
yeah. But I think everybody wanted to do that one. I'm super excited to do Swingers.
Yes.
With Ron Livingston.
Vegas.
Vegas. You always double down on 11, Dave. I don't have to tell you that. Ron Livingston, really no BS, one of my favorite actors.
Always great.
He plays Mike's friend, Jon Favreau's friend. He isn't even with him at the end. He's too sort of calm and normal a guy to be super into the Hollywood scene. But I loved Loudermilk, his show, and Band of Brothers. He played Lewis Nixon, and it's phenomenal. So I'm super excited. And Swingers, a seminally important movie for me. Like, taught me at age, I guess I was 15 then when it came out. That taught me at 29, like, a little bit about what could be funny. Like, oh wait, some of this stuff that I think is weird that I'm not sure other people find funny. No, this is funny.
Yeah.
And so the movie mattered to me, and I'm doing it at the pool. I haven't done a pool movie in a lot of years, so I'm glad to be out there.
Pool ones are fun.
Yeah.
So you are now celebrating, am I right, 23 years of hosting on TCM?
23, yeah. I started in 2003.
So you're up to the amount of time that Robert Osborne was a host on TCM, and possibly even longer than that.
Not yet longer. He was like 23 years and a month.
Okay.
I'll hit 23 years this summer.
And then they're going to pull the plug.
Right, then they're going to pull the plug. Or right before. Yeah, right, yeah. Right.
Okay, so the reason I'm bringing that up is I'd love to hear what you have to say, now that you've been doing it for so long, when you think about what TCM means to people now, after you've now been doing this for as long as you have, what would that be?
I think that the evidence is in that we mean more to people now every day. The best day for TCM is today. Yesterday sucked. Today is amazing, but tomorrow's going to be better. And I don't say that because I'm like some optimistic person. It's just that this channel, maybe because of the kind of world that we live in, and I'm not talking about necessarily the political division, although I think that relates to it. Movies bring us together, they really do. But that we're pulled in so many different directions by so many different forces that are too strong for us to combat. Like, the phone is stronger than we are. We should probably stop yelling at people for being on the phone. That's what they wanted us to be. And here's a place where that all cools down, where everything stops and slows down, and you have a moment where inevitably you think about your mom and dad, you think about your brother, you think about people you've lost, you think about people you don't want to lose, you think about your grandparents, even if you didn't know them, maybe great-grandparents, right? These are the kind of movies they liked. This is the time they lived in. This is what they felt. This is how they walked. This is how they talked. That matters, right?
Yeah.
Slowing our heart rate down matters, and connecting us to the people who came before matters a lot.
I am here with the Bad News Bears. I'm going to have them all introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Christopher Barnes, and he played Tanner. I'm David Pollack. I played Rudy Stein.
Dave Stambaugh, Toby Whitewood.
Brett Marks, I played Ahmad Abdul Rahim.
Where is
Feldman.
He to defend himself?
Is this the first time that you all have reunited in one place? Do you get together every year? How does that work?
We're still missing a few castmates. They are coming for the Sunday re-premiere here at Grauman's Chinese Theatre. They're going to play Bears the first time in 50 years, I guess. So some of us have a chance to get together and see each other, but it'll be the first time that many or all of us will be together. So that's coming up on Sunday. We're very excited about that.
Very exciting. 50th anniversary.
Stop saying that.
I'm so sorry.
It makes us feel old.
Does it feel that long ago?
No, it was like yesterday.
Yeah.
And people are still talking about the movie, and that's just amazing.
One of the guys mentioned that the movie premiered here actually 50 years ago. Yeah. So to have it come full circle like this is amazing.
Do you have any fun memories on set with Walter Matthau, with each other? Any pranks that you all played?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, the whole experience was really a wonderful experience. I think looking back and just understanding more about the industry these days, it must have been such a blast for the crew members to be going to a park, and it's summer and we're playing ball and they're having a good time and they're making a living and they're going home and eating dinner with their family. It must have been a wonderful experience. But, you know, there were times where they filmed us actually playing very badly against the Yankees, who were playing much better than us. And they kept those flubs in the film. And, it was...
this is history.
Yeah, this is history.
I remember there's one scene that I did with Walter Matthau where he asked me to go get hit by the ball again, and we had to film that 20 times because Walter could not get through it. I would look up at him and he would burst out laughing. And I was thinking, well, here's one of the best comedic actors in the world. He thinks I'm funny. That's not bad.
Lastly, what does it mean to kind of represent the underdog? Everyone always talks about the Bad News Bears being the triumph of the underdog. How does that feel?
Well, you know, that Paramount wasn't sure the way the script was written was going to go well with audiences, so they had us film an alternate ending where we actually win. It's in Paramount Vault somewhere. You remember that, Chris? I do. We did that many, many times. Yeah. So, yeah. It was. Go ahead. Finish your thought. No. That was the story. But fortunately, the audience tested fine. They left it the way it was written, and it really needed to be that way because it was a moral victory, even though it wasn't a real victory. I do want to say that the film has lasted 50 years because of people like the director Michael Ritchie, the cinematographer John Alonzo, Polly Platt, the production designer, and mostly Bill, and also very heavily Bill Lancaster, the writer. Great talents that sort of have made a very special movie.
What a collaboration it was.
Yeah. About your question.
Yeah.
And I did read that they wanted us to win, and Michael Ritchie fought for us not to win because what he said was, look, not everybody wins, but everybody tries. And I think that if we would have won, we wouldn't be here 50 years later. So to the brilliance of Michael Ritchie, I think he was right.
Well said. Thank you all so much I'm on camera over here. That's right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the festival and congratulations. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I am here with the legendary Leonard Maltin. It's so great to see you again. Hi.
Wonderful to see you again.
Now, I would love to get your take. What was your first experience watching Barefoot in the Park? What did you think?
Well, I saw it when it was new. I'm not old. and a very entertaining movie. I think I even saw the Broadway play. I saw several of Neil Simon's hit Broadway shows. And to sit in an audience and hear laughter like that, he was a master writer of comedy.
And for Barefoot in the Park, it really put Robert Redford on the map, obviously Jane Fonda as well. What do you think it is about his performance in the film that kind of took him to movie star status?
Well, you're not used to seeing a guy that handsome be funny. You know, willing to be lighthearted, willing to make even a little fun of himself. And he and Jane Fonda just clicked. And they're a great team. He and Jane Fonda made a great team. Helped by Charles Boyer and Mildred Natwick, you know, wonderful cast. And so it captures the show very well.
Do you have a favorite Robert Redford film?
Well, All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Candidate, go on and on and on. I liked him. I can't think of a film I really actively disliked that he made.
Everything he did was fantastic. Now, I have to say, you and your daughter, Jessie, you have a book. Is it currently out?
It's out, available. We'll sell you as many as you want to buy.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the book is about?
It's called Family Movie Night Menus. It's the TCM book, published by Running Press, and who did a beautiful job packaging it and designing it. It's recommendations of 25 family-friendly films that we encourage you to watch with your family, and then make snacks or meals that are inspired by the movie. And we had fun doing it. And it covers a broad swath of movies, from Charlie Chaplin to Harry Potter.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's so great to see you again. Thank you so much for stopping by.
My pleasure.
And enjoy the festival.
I sure will.
Coming up next, this weekend, the one and only Carol Burnett joins us for two special events. She'll be joining Club TCM to talk about her life and career, and she will also be screening Strangers on a Train tomorrow. So let's take a look at last year when she was on TCM. She shared some of her favorite classics, and let's watch that now.
So when you were a young girl, I know that you and your grandmother used to go to the movies together. Why was that such an important thing for the two of you, and how often would you go?
I was born in Texas, and the first time I remember we would go to the movies, I had to be 3 or 4 because my feet didn't touch the floor. We didn't have any money, really. So what pennies we had, we saved to escape. It was a depression. So we would go to the movies in Texas, and then we moved out to Hollywood. I lived a block north of Hollywood Boulevard. The movies were our escape. And everything worked in the movies. I mean, the good guys made it. The bad guys didn't. Nothing was cynical. And so I fell in love with Judy and Mickey, Betty Grable, Rita Hayworth, Lana Turner, of course, Jimmy Stewart. And later on, when I got my show, I got to know all of them and work.
We are back to trivia. Let's test your knowledge and see how you do. Number 4. Many of the opening scenes of Barefoot in the Park were shot on location at this famous hotel in New York City. Is it A, the Waldorf Astoria, B, the Plaza, C, the New York Marriott Marquis, or D, the St. Regis, New York? I'll give you a few more seconds. And the answer is B, the Plaza. Fun fact, this also serves as a centerpiece setting for another Neil Simon film, The Plaza Suite in 1971. Actually, I believe that was California Suite in 1971. Actually, with Jane Fonda. We're on to number 5. In Barefoot in the Park, how many flights of stairs did the newlyweds have to trek to reach their apartment? Is it A, 5, B, 15, C, 9, or D, 30? how many flights of stairs did the newlyweds have to trek to reach their apartment? And the answer is A, 5. 6, if you count the stoop, which some people mention in the film. And fun fact, Robert Redford also hated wearing suits and ties all day for his character. So between filming breaks, he would change into boots and his signature cowboy hat. And also, in the French version of the film, they increased the number to 9 flights of stairs, since it's common for older buildings with 6 floors or less to have no elevator, so the audience would not find it as arduous. 5 flights is a lot for me, so, you know. Oh, Diane Baker, hello! It's so great to see you. I have cords everywhere. Welcome.
Cords.
What has she seen?
These two.
We are here. What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the TCM Classic Film Festival?
I'm looking forward to joy, connected experience with people who love what the movies had to say through the years, watching the choices and choosing the films I want to see that I haven't seen on the big screen. We don't get that opportunity, but I wish it compels me to want to buy a small theater. I can find an empty theater that's chained or has the windows boarded up and say, open it. Let's have movies again. Let's show movies. I am starting a nonprofit. It's been in the works now, and it's in honor of Robert Osborne. It's called the Robert Osborne Center for Film Studies. And I'm reaching out to mentors in the film industry who want to be hands-on. And I'm going to take 50 young people. They don't have to be so young. I have one that I want from American Indian who is now in North Carolina. Her brother was Cherokee Nation chief for a while. And she graduated from my school, and I talked her gave her a nudge to not just act, as she was already reaching 48 and 50 and had 2 grown kids. And I said, it's going to be hard for you to be an actor, so take film at Film Academy and write. So she's written, and she's back there on the reservation. And that's what I want this school to get. I want to get those kids who had loans from families and the government. They left the university, and 4 years later, I'm here, and they're driving Uber and Lyft. And I can't stand it. So I'm looking for those that I remember, that worked hard, they're passionate, that love movies, and I want to make sure that every single one of them gets a chance to have a history of films. I will have screenings during the weekends. I have Michael Goy involved, who is the president of ASC, who has Saturday night movies at his house in his garage. And he shows everything and discusses them. I've come across graduates who, I asked them if you've seen, do you know American in Paris? What? I said, Leslie Caron. Who is she? I said, you are just graduated from university and you're doing your thesis and you haven't know any of these movies? I said, you certainly won't get in to see Steven Spielberg. I've now collected all of Steven's favorite films. So I'm looking. I've got a library, one whole room filled with my collections of DVDs. I'm looking for what we can set up online, and it will be under that name, Robert Osborne Center for Film. And it's really meant to inform and let them see these films and know Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Do we have that today in our government? Do we have anyone who would stand up there and nearly fall down sick from speaking his mind, and then you change one person's mind? So I go to these events, and I come across Claude Rains' daughter, and I come across Rod Serling's daughter. I just came from an event, and she's across from me. And I'm getting to meet the people that were part of my growing up on television. So that's it for me. I love the work. I love helping young people learn and get them. I want to see the light.
I love it.
I want to see the light go on. I look around here and I see the light go on when I see Leonard Maltin, and I love him.
That's what makes this festival so unique.
And Kay Rhodey, who was an absolute wonderful human being, and his wife, and David, and did you know Claire Lockhart was with the Academy for years?
Yes.
She produced and directed a film about the closing of Off Vine, and it won #1 at the recent Independent Reel Film Festival here downtown. They showed it, and people kept calling in and wanting to see it more and more. And they had 3 screenings. No other film had it, and it won Best. And it's her first chance. First time. She's moved from being one of the girls that shows you around.
I mean, and that's what this festival is all about, uniting people who love movies.
You know who he is?
I do, yes. But we won't keep you.
No.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful chatting with you. Likewise. And I love that you're so passionate about educating people on film.
That's TCM. 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 All the great people at TCM. There's one of them.
Thank you so much. We are here with actor Kevin Pollak. What a delight this is. It's so great to see you.
It must be. I mean, you too. No, this is a great festival, and it's an honor to be invited.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the TCM Classic Film Festival?
Well, tomorrow night there's a 30th anniversary screening of Tom Hanks' directorial debut of That Thing You Do, and I'll be part of the Q&A afterwards. I look forward to that a great deal.
Now, have you ever seen Barefoot in the Park, which is what's happening tonight?
Yes, I'm old, so I saw it in the theater.
What'd you think?
It's great. Yeah, no, it's an all-time classic.
I would love to know, what is a movie that you put on, your comfort movie? You could have it on in the background, but you relax. You've probably seen it 100 times.
I mean, there's so many of those, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, for me, is going to rank right up there. The Graduate is another one. I mean, I'm old again, so the list is very long, yeah.
And do you have a favorite besides Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Do you have a favorite Robert Redford film?
Yeah, I think All the President's Men. I think actually Downhill Racer. It's hard to pick a film that he was in that isn't much beloved. So
The Sting.
The Sting was too obvious, but yes, definitely Academy Award winning The Sting.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jane Fonda will be here tonight. If you could ask her anything, what would you ask her? What are you hoping that she's going to talk about tonight at the screening?
I would ask her what she's doing for dinner tomorrow night. And if she'd be talking about me tomorrow at the screening.
Well, it's so nice to talk with you. Enjoy the festival. Thank you.
Alexander Payne, great to see you. What am I doing here? What are you doing here, man? Who invited you?
Yeah, thanks. All kidding aside, no matter what else is going on in my life, I make room now for the Turner Classic Movie Film Festival. And I'm not kind of a self-promoter kind of guy, but they are showing my first feature,
Citizen Ruth.
Citizen Ruth, which I'm
30 years.
I'm both horrified that it's been 30 years and very pleased that it's getting seen.
So we have 5 TCM hosts, Alexander, right? And they make some effort to try to be, give everybody a shot at the things they want to do. What interests you? There were 5 hosts who put in for Citizen Ruth.
That's so nice, and Alicia got it.
Alicia
got it.
Why? What did Alicia do? No, but it's a sign of, one, the impact that movie has, knowing that you were going to be here and talked about it.
And Laura Dern. Let's not forget Laura Dern is putting off travel to go shoot her new White Lotus series by a day so she can be here. And she's now, as you know, in the legendary phase of her career.
She's in the legendary phase of her career?
Actors, if they, are around long enough, a la Chinatown,
Laura, right, yeah. Were you at her mom's memorial service?
I was not.
I figured you were.
No, I was.
You were working?
I've been shooting
Yeah.
in Denmark, but yeah.
So like, it's hard to.
Did you go?
I went.
Oh,
it was
wow.
It was so beautiful. It was so lovely. It was like, it opened with Diane saying, "Well, I'm gone."
Yeah.
Right. It was. It was really moving. It was really sweet. Okay, give me your last one, and I'll let you go. Give us a story. I know that you probably had a lot of them. Give us a story of what TCM means to you. You keep showing up for us. Obviously, this channel matters to you. Why?
It's almost as though all of the history of the universe has been leading us toward Turner Classic Movies. That's how I feel about Turner Classic Movies.
How often do you have it on in your home?
When I'm in the United States, all the time, and if I am going to leave I'm still old-fashioned, so I TiVo or DVR things. So I have to check out what's going to be on for the next 2 weeks to set my timer. And
I love it. I love it how that's now old-fashioned. I mean, when that
I know,
came out, it was only like 20 years ago. It seemed like the greatest thing that had ever happened.
I know.
And by the way, we should still say TiVo. TiVo should be the word. It was a great word. Great word. DVR.
Laser discs. Yeah.
Alexander,
good.
Thanks for being here.
Hope to see you around. Thanks for the interest as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I am here with one of my heroes, Dana Delaney. It's so great to meet you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I would love to. You have played so many iconic female characters who are strong and empowered, and obviously Jane Fonda has played those as well.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite Jane Fonda role from over the years?
There's so many, and there's so many different eras of Jane. I love the 1960s Jane. I love the hair, the best hair ever. I love all of that when she was doing comedies like Sunday in New York, but a little bit off. Like she would be funny, but there was something a little bit off about her, which made it more interesting. I like Barbarella.
Oh, Barbarella.
I mean, I would wear those outfits. Yeah. But then when she did They Shoot Horses, Don't They? It was a whole nother Jane, and then it was a whole nother career. So she just, and then there's the, the nuclear one she did with Michael, that one. What's that one called?
The nuclear one?
Yes.
Coming Home?
No, that Coming Home was another good one. The 70s era. Yeah.
Clue, Coming Home.
Clue, my God, Clue. Yes,
right? Exactly.
Yes.
She really proved in that era that she was a serious dramatic actress.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, she can do it. And now she's doing great things for the world, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the film festival?
I love these people because everybody just cares about old movies and they understand that this is our cultural heritage. It's so important to preserve this and take care of it. And now with all these mergers going on, I worry. I worry about Warner Brothers. I worry about the Warner Brothers archives, which I was lucky to go to this year. Somebody has to preserve this stuff. This is America did this, I mean, the French started it, but we finished it.
What is it about the movies that we can encourage younger people to come have this communal experience?
I mean, here at the festival?
At the festival, I guess movies in general. Yeah.
Well, during the pandemic, my pod was with a 15-year-old, and so he would sit and watch these TCM movies with us. He loved them. He just has to be introduced to them. He loved them. He's so knowledgeable about classic movies now. And now that he's in college at Tufts, he's turning everybody there on to them. And he's kind of like, amazed you don't know this movie,
And my last question is, what would be a movie that you would wish that you could watch the first time again? There's so many, I know.
Well, my favorite movie of all time is In a Lonely Place. Nick Ray and Humphrey Bogart and Gloria Graham. And I remember I first saw it when I was in high school, and I thought, oh my God, this is... And I'd never been to Hollywood, and I thought, this is the real Hollywood. And it is. He was completely right.
Well, it was so great chatting with you. We won't take up much of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
So, I don't think I was lying. As I walked down the red carpet and everybody asked me about tonight, I said that basically when we reached out to you, you basically were like, when we'd like to be here to honor, you were like, yeah, I'm in.
Of course.
Yeah. Why?
Well, he was always my, except for Lily Tomlin, he was always my favorite co-star. I absolutely adored him, and I bow down to him for what he did for movies.
I mean, I'll go anywhere to honor him.
Your first movie together, The Chase?
The Chase.
Yeah.
This one.
Barefoot in the
Barefoot
Park.
in the Park.
Yeah.
Electric Horseman and Our Souls at Night.
Four movies. So what drew you to him, like in The Chase? Had you met him before, or did you meet him when you got to work on The Chase?
Met him when we got to work on The Chase.
What struck you early on as special about him?
I just remember walking down the corridor in Paramount of the administration building, and every secretary had her head out the door watching him walk. I thought, he's gonna be a big star.
This guy's. He knew how handsome he was, right? I always felt like he was trying his whole career to make sure that that's not the only way people saw him.
I think he was happy that he was beautiful.
Sure, yeah.
Because it really helped. But he hated the kind of attention that it brought him. It made him very uncomfortable. He was basically quite a modest, he was very modest, and he liked to be alone in the country.
I'll let you go, but I maybe he's not underrated anymore since he passed away. But I always thought that because he was so handsome, that this was like one of the greatest actors who ever lived. And just watching him on the phone could be taught in acting classes.
Yeah, he was a wonderful actor, and I agree with you. I think he was underrated as an actor. But I think that he will go down in history because of what he did to film. And that is about to be lost to us.
Not every star whose friend has passed away would show up on a night like this.
They would.
No, they wouldn't. No, I want to tell you,
Bob Redford.
It's a big deal. I know, but it's a big deal that you're here to honor him, and it's going to make this night special. And I'm really enormously grateful. We all are for you coming.
I'm glad I was asked.
Huh? What? It's TCM. Oh, so I have to ask.
My favorite ex-husband created Turner Classic Movies. That was Ted Turner.
You were married to Ted Turner?
I was.
I didn't know that. It's amazing.
Yes.
When? Okay, so yeah, Ted. We honored Ted here 7 years ago. It was a great night, and he said what I'm sure he said a lot, which is his two things that professionally he's most proud of was CNN and Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah, he did a good thing with TCM.
On our very first date, he talked to me all about Turner Classic Movies.
Is that right?
Yeah. And I do think it was one of the great things that he did.
In this world we live in today, why do we need TCM now?
Oh. We need to know what it used to be like. We need to know what the greats were like. The great directors, the great actresses, the great actors. We want to see how people used to behave. I know a young girl who came from a very, very disadvantaged background, and she learned manners and how to behave from TCM.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice legacy.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful legacy. Jane Fonda, I can't wait to talk to you inside. Thank you so much.
I'll see you inside.
Jane Fonda.
Bye.
Everybody.
I am here with Mario Van Peebles. It's so great to meet you.
Thank you.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the festival?
Yeah, what I think I like about this festival right here in Hollywood is it doesn't just celebrate the future, it also rewards the past. And if you don't know where you were cinematically, it's hard to know where you're going, especially when movies were made by real people. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, there's real people. There's no AI, no CGI. It's just real folk. I think that movies have the power to make us fall in love with people who wouldn't look like us, wouldn't vote like us, and act like us. And so when you can do that and you can transport someone else and take them inside a different world, that's very powerful. And I've always loved that. And when I did my movie Badass, where I played my father when he made his film Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. And we took it to Sundance to play it. And Robert Redford came over to my father. And my dad and he were talking, and my dad pointed to me and he introduced me. He said, "This is Mario, he's my annuity." And Robert Redford said, no, he's your continuity. Oh. And I thought that was very elegant.
Wow.
And I think right now, when you say what's important about this film festival, it's also that at a day like today, when the Supreme Court, is gutting the Voting Rights Act, to remember people like Robert Redford and Jane Fonda, who's hopefully going to speak, and Melvin Van Peebles, who are not afraid as artists to speak out and say we can have a point of view. And that's important. It took America of all colors to build this country. And it takes us, and America's built on capitalism and democracy, so you got to be a part of having a business of some sort, hopefully being able to vote. And today that was put in peril. And I hope that Jane will address it. So I'm here to honor that, to see these movies with Jane Fonda and Robert Redford, bring my old school Hollywood elegance to it. You know, that's why I was like, clearly, I was like, get the hat on, get the pinstripes rocking. Thank you. And see a great film and hear some smart people talk about how we protect this lovely democracy that we have. There you go. How's that for a long, short answer?
No, that's beautiful and so well said. I would love to know, who were your inspirations growing up besides your dad? Who inspired you to do what you do?
Probably my mom, too. You know, my mother was a fun, hippie chick, very free, very open. We traveled all over, and so we lived in Copenhagen and Denmark and Morocco, and I saw culture as a choice. So it was like here in this country they do that, here and over here they do that. So when I got to America and things were sort of a little bit more reductive culturally, I saw it as a choice and not a have to, but as a could. And so you could sort of go, I like that from this one, and that's from that one, and that from that one. And when your family is blended, and you can look around and say, you know, I've got a Trumper over there, and I've got black over there, and gay over there, and straight over there, and white, then you've got to love the whole human family. And I think as a filmmaker, I think that affected me in that I like to paint with all the colors, without limitations. And you can't lead people if you don't love them, and you can't know them if you can't know them. If you got to know them to love them, and love them to get to know them. And I think film can help do that. Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy the festival.
Yeah. Great. You look wonderful. Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye. Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Spock.
Oh, right on. You know that.
I do. It's great to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Ethan Peck.
Hello.
And grandson of Gregory Peck.
How about that?
Yes.
I've been saying over the course of these interviews, I was just here this week, and whenever I come here, I marvel at the fact that his handprints are there and his footprints. I texted my father and I said, "Can you believe these are here?" And he said the 3 dots there. So there are 3 dots just below, I think, where he signed his name. And there used to be a dime and 2 pennies for 12 o'clock high because he had just finished. That had just premiered, I think.
Wow.
They're no longer there, of course, but that was news to me, and I just thought a wonderful little bit of information.
I saw that you mentioned once that you never talked to him, obviously, about your acting and things like that.
No, not too much, unfortunately.
Yeah. What would you ask him if you could now, or what kind of advice would you want?
That's a great question. You know, again, to bring my father into it, we had lunch yesterday, and I said, how did he choose what he did? Because my father was explaining to me that he was in Europe for a couple of years just doing multiple films in a row. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And so his representation at the time, I think, really guided him well. And so he got that one role that kind of made casting and producers, directors, writers sort of see him as available to all these other roles. And so I think he just made one good choice. I'm not sure which that sort of linchpin film was, but I'll have to go back to my father and figure that out.
I love that.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend at the festival?
Tonight, my buddy's coming. He's here, and he actually wrote for Grace and Frankie.
Oh, no way.
With Jane, and they're pals, and so we're going to connect with Jane a little bit later. Apparently, I just missed her. She walked by, and I can't wait to see Best Years of Our Lives on the big screen. I'm absolutely thrilled for that. And Captain Blood, and Notorious, and I'm seeing Arabesque for the first time, my grandfather's film, who I'm helping to introduce on Sunday at 5:30.
Oh, how does that feel?
It feels really exciting and kind of nerve-wracking. Like I've never really done anything like that, so it's the reason I made to get an excuse to be let into this thing. So that's why I'm here. Yeah.
And lastly, what's next for Spock? Can you tell people?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, season 4 of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is airing on Paramount Plus on July 23rd, where you can see the adventures of the Enterprise, helmed by Captain Kirk, is played by Anson Mount, and Mr. Spock will be dealing with his emotions and his Vulcanness. That they make a very complicated pair within himself, and maybe there'll be some more heartbreak, some more big emotional moments that make him want to be even less human and more like Nimoy's Spock that we see in the original series. So that's kind of the idea.
Love it.
Yeah.
We can't wait.
Me too.
Yeah, it's so great chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It has been so much fun. It's time for me to go inside with the rest of the moviegoers, but stay tuned on the live for bonus content from the TCM archives as we look at TCM host Ben Mankiewicz's Fest conversation with Michael Douglas.